Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between KSJ and an unknown Terran player here on Desert Oasis. This replay and shoutcast is brought to you by lucomputers.com. Go ahead and check out their website and go ahead and click on the link on the top right hand corner for computers that will play StarCraft 2 pretty well in my opinion. Anyways, Desert Oasis, blue Terran player, there's going to be a Terran Mirror match. The blue player over here to the south side pretty much going to be opening up with the standard build most likely. I'll go ahead and pull up the production tab so I can better keep track of what these players are both doing. Most likely both players will be going ahead and going down with a 9, or he's going for a 9 supply depot, so that's a little bit delayed. Most likely because his opening was a little bit late, that's why he couldn't open up with a standard 10 depot. Back over here by this unknown player going for a 10 racks. So 10 racks is is a little bit of a weird, strange build. We'll see how this is how it's gonna work. This is not your standard build by any means. He's gonna be delayed in terms of SCV counts for quite some time. May go for a refinery and will go for a supply depot, and then continue to mine. Then go for an earlier refinery. That's the only reason why I would see you would ever want to go for an early barracks. Maybe even try to go for an earlier orbital command. Once again, I still apologize. My mouth is not fully healed. Yeah, I got some oral surgery, mouth surgery, and a little bit of a bone biopsy earlier. So if there's a little bit more slurred or more delayed reaction in my talking, that is why. Yes, it does hurt a lot. It's kind of like your wisdom teeth getting pulled, except in the front of your mouth as opposed to the back. So yeah, it just hurts very much. Anyways, back over here, the SCV is now doing some scouting, and now Marines being trained up. So there's early gas, with only 2 SCVs on it, which is a little bit strange, as in usually players try to go for an earlier gas so that they can perhaps go for an earlier factory or some other strategy. Now getting that we may see now there's that upgrade to that orbital command, and now both players are just playing with a pretty strange opening. KSJ now doing a standard opening as well. He was a little bit delayed in that depot, and now also getting a supply depot down over here, making sure that there's no crazy tech, no Reapers trying to come on in. SCV now going to go ahead and scamper around the inside of this base, trying to make sure that there's no buildings hanging off to that north side, as these Marines are now going to try to chase down this SCV. SCV getting plenty of scouting now, as the unknown player going to go ahead and drop down an additional refinery in order to prevent that SC from really blocking that gas over here. Back over here, KSJ now opening into a factory as well. So taking a look at the harvester count, KSJ sitting on 16 harvesters versus the unknown player's 14, and now just massing up a fair amount of Marines. Double gas now finally up, so trying to figure out how many SCVs are on gas here. It looks as though there are 6, yes, finally 6 SCVs on gas, and now going for a factory. And the unknown player pretty much really far behind and tech-wise. The factory is already down. I would assume that the unknown player would have tried to go for an earlier factory if he did go for a barracks first, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Let me check their actions per minute. Okay, so this is not the high level replay that I thought I would be casting. Their actions per minute not that high, so these are not top tier players, probably mid-level platinum players or mid-level diamond players at best, not the top tier professional players that I generally try to cast. I am running low on replays. KSJ now putting down a starport and an armory, so KSJ may be trying to go for a Thor ship early on in this game and try to put some pressure over here. We do have the factory now getting some siege tanks. We'll see if that siege tech is also going to work, but an early Thor ship on Desert Oasis against Terran isn't a typical strategy that you see. Normally there's enough marauders early on to really detract from this, but this unknown player, without getting a tech lab on his building and sitting on 200 gas, may be really surprised by this whole entire Thor ship. Let's see if it is going to be a Thor ship. We have the armory completing, we have enough, and there is that Thor. So Thor now completing, or now being trained up, followed up with a medevac. There we go, and now the Thor ship will be inbound and incoming. The Thor ship should work fairly well on this map because of this really short distance between these two players, and with no scouting and now only mass Marines coming out from this unknown player. Unknown player looks to want to do a little bit of cliffing right here to try to take down and deny the gas. He is in fact lifting up this barracks and trying to get sight to try to deny this gas and gas lock his opponent, also getting some missile turrets as well. So it will be fairly difficult for those units to even try to take down any of these Marines. Siege tech has already been completed. A second siege tank now moving on over as this barracks flying over. Now siege tank is ready, but does not able to see up onto that high ground. KSJ does not, only sees Marines, does not see the siege tank there. And now in comes this barracks. Really, if you're going to be putting down a bunker, I would have thought with turrets, the Marauder would have been a much better choice. Marauder with a range of 7, I believe, can start shooting at these refineries. But however, in comes a Thor ship, and the Thor ship now shooting down and taking down all of these SCVs. And unknown player just really getting torn apart here. This one Thor down to 128 hit points, and is able to just continue to deal that firing. That if you keep track, mules do not deal any damage whatsoever, so that was not going to work at all. We do have the siege tanks now denying the gas over here, and now starting to make its way towards this orbital command. But the expansion over here by KSJ is going to be up and running in just a moment. We now have a siege tank fighting against and taking down one Thor. So one Thor taken down. Siege tank going to go ahead and siege back up. But it looks as though a second Thor is already ready with the second medevac. So a second Thor ship will be able to continue to push. Unknown just continuing to start blasting away at this orbital command center over here, and with this barracks he does see that he still has plenty of sight. Second siege tank gonna go ahead and move on over and try to take down this command center. Marines now moving over just in case there is a second Thor ship, and in comes this Thor ship. So KSJ with this Thor ship may be able to deal significant damage towards this side. He may try to just go ahead and drop it on that siege tank, and to get within that 0 range. There is one medevac, and that medevac may get shot down. No, not going to get shot down over here, as he just getting out of range of that one missile turret. Now in comes, going to go ahead and start blasting away at those Marines. Marines getting destroyed there, and now going to go ahead and pick it up, and you're going to go ahead and continue to drop it down. And SCVs unable to, and now drop back down. Very nicely done. SCVs now unable to get any melee range onto that Thor. And it's very nicely done. Siege tank down to 44 hit points as down to 44 hit points as that Thor is now moving away. We may get an SCV to start repairing, or maybe even calling down a mule. A mule would be a perfect timing, as opposed to trying to transfer an SCV that far away. And now in comes this medevac. Medevac gonna go ahead and head off to the north side, and SCV gonna go ahead and catch sight of this expansion being mined out, and this unknown player must be hurting pretty badly. 2 SCVs or 4 SCVs now repairing the store. Gonna go ahead and most likely repair that medevac as well, and then continue to move on out. And yeah, this game does not look good at all for this unknown player. Unknown player down to 6 harvesters. And really, the army sizes are fairly even. Don't know really what KSJ is building. KSJ could be trying to take down, I believe, this barracks, or trying to produce some of his own, or use this factory over here, and then try to shoot down this barracks. Oh, that Viking may get shot down. Yeah, that Viking only has a range of 6, so still gets shot down. That a Thor with a range of 7 should be able to shoot down this barracks, or at least try to shoo it off. In comes a Thor ship again. The Thor ship just dropping down, dishing out that damage, going after that siege tank. Siege tank down to 44 damage, 44 hit points, trying to move back even further, taking down more of these units. That Thor really wants to focus down on that siege tank, but for some reason not focusing down that siege tank. Oh, there it goes. And now that Thor down to 37 hit points. And with no additional mules or no additional units there, gonna go ahead and drop that down. Oh, siege tank popped right back out just in time to track that Thor. And now here's that Korean player's name, and that is the Korean GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't know. Yeah, I'll go ahead and make a particular note that this isn't going to be the most high-level replay that I've seen. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay between KSJ and this Korean player here on Desert Oasis.